Well, welcome back to NewView Essay Services. If you are a newcomer, that is, you're new to the NewView process and have not yet seen the overview Create Your Thesis video, let me recommend you stop this one and go watch that one first, because there's some fundamental things in the previous overview Create Your Thesis video that you're going to need to understand before you get into this particular instruction slash demo, which is called Inventory Create Your Thesis. Okay, you're still with me? Good. Let's find out how this inventory form will help you create your NewView thesis. First, look at how the inventory is organized. We have school, family, friends, self, and miscellaneous. These are the groups that you belong to. The groups you know well, the groups you don't have to think twice about to know the values and wants and likes and dislikes of the people who compose that group. These are people you could write a letter to, you could call them up on the telephone, you could have a conversation with them because you know these people, right? On the left side of the inventory here, you'll find in horizontal rows constants, repeats, and single events. And then under that, as additional prompts, under constants, people, events, and conditions. Under repeats, successes, failures, and does. And for single events, surprises, accidents, and adventures. As you start filling out the individual blocks on the inventory, you're going to find more unique prompts for each of them. For instance, right here, building classes, leaders, and teachers under constants for school. Down here under repeats, clubs, dances, dates, and games. Constants for families, chores, parents, pets, siblings. This software has prompts built into it everywhere you can think of to keep your imagination rolling, keep giving you ideas that you might be able to springboard off of. Okay, let's work on that first block under school. I'm going to zoom in a bit to make this a little easier to see. Okay, now in this first block over here under school, and that may be too much. We need some examples. And oh look, we have them. You can now just right click and or left click and drag on your mouse. We've got prompts. I promised you there would be, and here they are. We have a new view and an old view for people. We have a new view and an old view for events. We have a new view and an old view for conditions under school. If I wanted the family prompts, they'd be right here. If I wanted to use the prompts for friends, I click here, and there's my friends prompts. Right where I need them, right where I will be able to look at under friends, under categories like fun, hangout, overnights, I will have people, now dread sleepovers, events, best friends with enemies, conditions, got civic spirit, now help out people, all there, okay? Let's go back to that school prompt again. I want it right here. You're probably racking your memory for something similar to what's in the example. Something strong with strong likes or strong dislikes. And you remember that you disliked all of your English teachers except the one you got your senior year. So let's type that in right here. Let's put in I hated all my English teachers in school except for one. And to save a little time, I'm going to just type in the other two here. I liked the patriotic flag. If you got dyslexic fingers like I do, this will probably take longer than it would for other people. And let's go with the third one here. I hated the always trashy bathrooms in our school. Okay, now back to that first new view entry. I hated all my English teachers except one. We got to think up something that is the reverse or the opposite of the strong value here of hating all those earlier teachers. And as we look at it, we can see that we put both strong positive and strong negative images in that slot, and that's not what we're after. So let's use the same idea but separate the positive from the negative. In the new view slot, I'm going to put I really liked my last English teacher in high school. We'll take out all the rest of that. And in the old view, I'll put I hated all my English teachers for first 3 years of high school. Okay, you see how that worked? First we typed in something in the new view slot that was a bit similar to the example. Then we filled in the other new view slots in that block. And by the way, that's the method you should use for the whole inventory. You first fill in all the new views, then you come back and fill in all the old views. It gets you in a groove, so you're thinking along those lines. You get better and better at it as you go along. And you don't have to write perfectly. You can change it later. Just get something in the slot so you can begin to work with it. And then we came back and we edited that new view that we typed in there with a simpler and stronger value statement there, and then filled the old view slot with the opposite or the reverse of that new view. And that's the pattern. You fill in all the new views, come back, fill in all the old views, and then edit any of your entries to make them work better. So let's fill in the old views with reverses of the other two. How about most kids really disliked the flag ceremony I hope you're all better touch typists. I hope they teach that as well as the other skills you need. All my friends loved to trash the bathrooms. You know, you don't have to abbreviate English ENGL, teachers CHRS. The reason I'm doing that is to keep everything visible in this box. If I want to spell it out longhand, you can do that. I mean, if you want to spell out all the complete spellings, you can do that. It just shows it farther down in the box, and I prefer to keep it all on 2 lines. Makes it easier for me to figure out where I am. Now, this is great. See this? Copy this pair to the forms. We're going to press that button because now let's zoom out again so we can see better. And I don't think we need this one right now. So let's go out one more. Now when we scroll down, look what's already filled in here. Under the templates. Dark cloud, silver lining, there's the old view, here's the new view. Glitter is not gold, there's the old view and the new view. This is pretty slick. And when you get all the way down, the thesis draft, I hated all the English teachers for the first 3 years, and the new view, I really liked my last English teacher. It's that easy. And if you decided not to use that particular combination, you could take this pair, and copy them to the forms, and look. Most kids dislike the flag ceremony. I like the patriotic flag ceremony every day, and of course that one's down here in the thesis draft also. Isn't that great? The whole inventory transfers one bit at a time down to the next forms as you need it. So once you've filled out the inventory, you've got some real power here. In fact, once you've filled out the inventory, you're going to be able to use this again and again and again, and we'll show you how to do that in just a couple minutes. Now, suppose you needed examples for all the rest of these, because again, the more examples you have, the easier it is to ballpark what you're doing compared to the rest. So right up here in the inventory of views and values, I can pop on this inventory instructions, and when you get down below that, it will give you examples of everything on here. And isn't this great? Now, there are other places you can get at this too. For instance, you can bring it up by just clicking inventory right here, and there it is again. You can also get the whole inventory filled out by going to example 1, and look, it opened up a second tab up here, and it's going to fill it with a PDF of the entire inventory of views and values already filled out. These are examples. Yours should be different, but these should be similar to what you're going to end up with. You can pop back and forth now between the empty form that you're actually filling out and the already filled out samples just by going to the other tab. And you can always hit the print button here and print a hard copy of these if you think that would be of value to you too. And frankly, it probably is. It's something you ought to keep handy. Okay, back here. Let's say that you've filled out the entire inventory of views and values, and you want to start another project. Well, if you bail on this now, you're going to lose it all. So the first thing you're going to do is hit save, and this is going to save the work you've already put into it. Now, with all these things still open, we're going to create a new project. We're going to name this one, I don't know, my second project. And we're going to create that. We created it from within here, so everything we have is already in the second project. But I'm going to demonstrate one other thing and then come back to this. Let's say you don't want all those things. You can either wipe them out one at a time by coming down here and just deleting, or you can clear the entire form by pressing this button here. Not one you want to take lightly, because once you've blown them away, they're gone forever, and not even your Control-Z is going to bring those back again. But we have we got the ability to open a saved project, and you'll notice my second project is listed here now. I can go back to my first project, and it's already there with all those things in it. Or I can go to my second project, and whatever I saved at that point will already be there. This is one of the most powerful parts of this, because face it, once you've filled out this entire inventory of views and values, it's going to take you some time to get it done. You've got them there available every time you have another essay project due. You pull it up, start a new project, and continue down the path with that. Great stuff. The New View tool that we've been demonstrating here is the best idea gatherer and retrieval system for thesis statements that you're going to find anywhere. And if it gets exciting now, wait till you see the next video on New View templates. It's feature laden, it's full of examples, and I think you're going to enjoy that too. So we'll see you there.